Is this particularly rare that 4 men have been killed in one single night?
It's unusual for 4 to die. Sadly, it's anything but unusual for a number of stabbings to happen on the same night. That is now absolutely typical of a Friday and Saturday night across London. I hate to think what the death toll would be if it weren't for the great skills of the ambulance service, the helicopter medics and the A&E departments. It is horrendous out there.
Do you think there's a reason that such horrific events like this are happening?
Yeah, the reason is very obvious. Theresa May has cut the police service so that there are no longer police officers on the street and the control of public space has been lost. This is just one symptom of that. There are numerous others. Deaths on the road are rising because road traffic police are going. Shoplifting's going through the roof because there are no police officers to deal with that. Antisocial behaviour is getting out of control again because there are no neighbourhood officers. The moped crime epidemic. There are no officers out there, and those that are out there aren't allowed to pursue. It is very simple. It is entirely down to Theresa May and her cuts to the police. She has the blood of these young people on her hands.
I suppose her argument would be that the role of policing has changed a lot in recent years because now there is the ongoing threat of extremism and terrorism. And of course that was something that she looked into for the New Year celebrations because it was heightened, wasn't it?
Theresa May has been Home Secretary and then Prime Minister for the last nearly 8 years now. She is entirely responsible for this state of affairs. She has refused consistently to listen to professional police officers that have told her that crime and the demands on policing have changed. They haven't gone away. They have changed. Last night we saw, I'm told, 3,000 armed officers drawn into central London to police the New Year's Eve celebrations. Those officers haven't come from somewhere else. They have come from elsewhere in London. They are not a magic box full of officers just brought out for the night. That means there are fewer officers elsewhere. It is no surprise to me to hear that stabbings took place in the suburbs and not in the centre of London where all the police officers were drawn to last night. There are too few police officers to keep the public safe. She has been told that repeatedly and she is ignoring it. It is criminal.
Knife crime seems to be going up. Is there something that can be done to try and tackle it?
Stop and search and police patrols and presence in public places. That is what keeps people safe at the pointed end. But officers need to be in schools. Officers need to be working with youth groups. Officers need to be working with community groups. Officers need to be working with probation service to try and deal with offenders and stop them re-offending. There are 1,000 things that need to be done. You can't do them without officers. And no matter how much this government goes on and on about being more, making more use of technology, an iPad is not going to prevent a single stabbing. It is as simple as that. Nothing seems to be raising the awareness of this government. They just seem to be ignoring everything. I really don't understand why they are not treating this as the emergency that it is. It is a public disaster happening in slow motion in front of our eyes. If these young people were white and they were on the streets of Maidenhead in her constituency and in Windsor, there would be an utter uproar. It would not be ignored. This is institutional racism at the heart of government. It is as simple as that.